we look at the challenges and opportunities for training during a pandemic. We ask Debbie Dickinson, CEO of Crane Industry Services, for her thoughts.
Hello, my name is Debbie Dickinson. I am with Crane Industry Services. I've been asked to take a few minutes to respond to how the COVID-19 pandemic impacted training in our industry. I actually really dislike the question, the recordings of press 1 if you have been impacted by COVID-19. I would pretty much imagine that most everybody in the world would be pressing 1 because who has not been impacted in some way? When the COVID-19 impact first started really surfacing to national attention, we were at ConExpo, shoulder to shoulder with hundreds of thousands of people from all over the world and enjoying our industry's biggest event. And for the first time ever, we were told, pack up, go home, get out of here, we're shutting down. And that, of course, was a shock all in of itself. Got our attention very quickly that we need to be planning something different, that if this virus that they were talking about was so serious that ConExpo was going to close early, then that we understood had huge ramifications for our business. Very soon we started hearing terms such as critical business, and we went to the state of Georgia to say, we consider ourselves critical, do you? And we were deemed critical business because we work with construction companies that were doing critical projects. We work with utilities and a number of other customers that we all rely on. And certainly so we had to look at what was our COVID-19 policy going to be? How are we going to do things differently? We had concerns for our employees. We had concerns for our customers, concerns for our family, concerns for ourselves. How do we still do what we do and keep people safe? The first thing that we turned to was technology. We have worked with video, broadcast quality, online learning, and simulation technology for many years. So thankfully, those things were already in place for us. However, not at the level that completely replaced everything else that we were doing. In our inspection work, we also had to look at sending people out, having agreements with customers about social distancing, wearing masks, having hand sanitizers on. And in those situations, then we kept people separate or working alone as much as reasonably possible to do. In training situations, we immediately cut the average size of our classes in half. And then, of course, some of our classes were delayed. Some of them got taken off the schedule. So there was a very real impact from doing what we normally did, and we had to spend much of the year figuring out, okay, can we do this? What really works when you're working with a live instructor, but working remotely? Does it work? What does work? And going back through our training outlines and sorting those things out. Fortunately, when we were at ConExpo, we got to participate in the CM Labs overview and introduction of some of their new capabilities, which even included practicing critical lifts and 2 crane lifts on 2 different simulators. And so we quickly probably moved those types of strategies and thinking and how to work with people much more aggressively up to a forefront than we had previously. And then the other part was we started conducting Zoom meetings. We tried out a number of different Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meets. We found out there was a lot of good technology out there for our instructors to work remotely. And then coming into agreement with our customers about this is what we can do now to help keep people's training fresh. And then this is what we're going to do differently in terms of handling performance evaluations and practical exams, and certainly looking at certification differently. So at some point, the rubber does have to meet the road. Can people handle the equipment? Can they perform the rigging exercises? But we also figured out that there are protocols. We can wear our mask. We can wear gloves. and that we had hand sanitizers. We contracted with Performer out of Gainesville, and we had individual bottles of hand sanitizers for all of our employees as well as all of the students in our classes. We worked with different configurations so that we would train differently when we were live together. So yes, of course, the pandemic did create situations. Some of it will carry forward. Some of it we realized, wow, why didn't we lay this foundation ahead of time? Why didn't we lay this foundation without people having to travel? And we found that we actually enjoyed that side of it, not because of it, but we enjoyed working in that manner. So some good things have come out of it. But for the most part, we are really glad that the vaccine that I think the nation is now saying 1.5 million per week. Vaccines are happening, and between that and herd immunity, we'll be glad to see this virus get under control. And we look forward to seeing you. Thank you very much.